Things she doesn't often talk about: losing both her parents within the span of 18 months, the upcoming coronation, the future of the monarchy, and Canada.
On a cool June evening in 2025, Buckingham Palace stands silent, its corridors dimmed as if holding a secret. Princess Anne, her face a mask of resolve, strides into a private chamber, clutching a sealed envelope. She has summoned King Charles and Prince William, insisting on no aides or advisors. The room, lined with portraits of Tudor kings and heavy velvet curtains, feels frozen in time. Anne places the envelope on an oak table, its edges worn but unopened. "This is from Mother," she says, her voice low. "She wanted you to see it now." The letter, penned by Queen Elizabeth II before her death in September 2022, is said to hold her final vision for the monarchy. As Charles and William exchange glances, the air grows thick with anticipation. Anne steps back, her duty clear. The envelope's contents, centered on Princess Catherine, are about to unravel the palace's delicate balance, setting the stage for a revelation that could reshape the crown's future. Charles, his hands unsteady, lifts the envelope, breaking the wax seal with a soft crack. William leans close, his breath shallow as they unfold the pages. Elizabeth's handwriting, precise and elegant, fills the sheet, each word a testament to her clarity. The letter speaks not of succession or protocol, but of strength and heart. Catherine, it declares, is more than a future queen. She is a leader capable of guiding the monarchy through turbulent times. The room falls silent, the only sound the ticking of a grandfather clock in the corner. Charles murmurs, "This is unexpected," his voice barely audible. William's fingers tighten on the table, his eyes fixed on the script. The letter omits their names, its focus solely on Catherine's quiet power. Each sentence lands like a stone in still water, sending ripples through the room. Anne watches, her expression unreadable, as the weight of the Queen's words settles over them, a challenge to the monarchy's rigid hierarchy. In Kensington Palace, Catherine sits by a window, her tea cooling in the evening breeze. Unaware of the letter's unveiling, she feels an inexplicable unease, her thoughts drifting to her children asleep upstairs. A mother, wife, and princess, she has never craved attention, yet her presence commands it. Through her 2024 cancer diagnosis, she faced fear with grace, sharing only what was needed, her poise earning global admiration. Whether comforting a grieving family or visiting a school, her warmth is genuine, her actions deliberate. Queen Elizabeth saw this, Catherine's ability to remain steady under scrutiny, to balance duty with humanity. In her quiet moments like this one, she embodies resilience, a quality the late Queen cherished. As London's lights twinkle below, Catherine senses a shift, unaware that her grandmother-in-law's words are casting her as the monarchy's future, a role she never sought but cannot escape. The letter does not rewrite the succession. George, Charlotte, Louis, and Harry remain in line, but its message is revolutionary. Elizabeth saw Catherine as a beacon, not just a consort, capable of inspiring a nation adrift. She wrote with conviction, urging the royals to embrace Catherine's leadership. The Queen waited to share this, entrusting Anne to deliver it when Charles and William were ready. "It's time," Anne says, her voice cutting through the silence. "The world has changed." The letter is no decree but a plea, reflecting Elizabeth's belief in Catherine's heart over tradition. As the pages lie open, their words challenge the palace's structure. Catherine's role, once supportive, is now central, a vision Elizabeth crafted in her final years. The room feels smaller, the weight of her wish pressing on Charles and William, who must now grapple with a future they hadn't foreseen. King Charles, at 76, feels the letter like a wound to his soul. Crowned in 2022 after decades of waiting, he has faced relentless trials, a skeptical public, a streamlined monarchy, and a cancer diagnosis in February 2024. His reign, meant to modernize, is marred by fatigue, his face thinner, his eyes weary. The Queen's focus on Catherine stings, as if his lifelong service is overshadowed. She saw this in her, he whispers, staring at the letter. His efforts to rebuild his image, once tarnished by personal scandals, falter against Catherine's effortless appeal. The crown, a symbol of destiny, now feels like a burden he carries alone. Charles's shoulders slump, his silence heavy with doubt. He has championed causes like sustainability, yet the public's gaze drifts to Catherine. The letter forces him to confront a truth. His reign may not define the monarchy's future, and the realization cuts deeper than any illness. Prince William, 42 and heir to the throne, stands frozen, the letter's words echoing in his mind. Every moment of his life, every lesson, every public duty has prepared him for kingship. Yet, the Queen's vision casts Catherine as a co-leader, her star potentially outshining his. He's seen her magic, her ease with crowds, her warmth at charity events, her strength during their shared cancer battles in 2024. She's always been the one they love, he thinks, his jaw tight. William adores Catherine, but the letter stirs fear. Will he be king or merely her partner? His silence speaks volumes, his hands still on the table. The Queen's words don't strip his role but suggest a shared future, one where Catherine's charisma could redefine his reign. Torn between love, duty, and destiny, William grapples with a vision that challenges everything he's been taught. Dawn paints London's sky in muted greys as Buckingham Palace hosts a clandestine meeting. Only senior royals and trusted aides are present, the press barred from entry. Princess Anne arrives first, her demeanor calm, the letter tucked in a plain folder. Charles follows, his face etched with exhaustion. William, last, is lost in thought, his steps heavy. Anne opens the folder, her voice steady as she reads Elizabeth's words aloud. "Catherine is our future," the letter proclaims, naming her a leader, not a supporter. The room stirs, some nod, others frown, confusion mingling with concern. The Queen's intent is clear. Catherine's role transcends tradition. No one speaks, the silence thick with unspoken questions. Change looms, not with fanfare but with quiet certainty. Anne steps back, letting the letter's weight settle, a testament to a monarchy on the brink of transformation. Princess Catherine's ascent has been subtle yet undeniable. Her grace, relatability, and tireless work have made her a global icon. Her 2020 Hold Still photography project captured Britain's pandemic spirit, earning praise on X as a gift to the nation. The Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood, launched after her 2020 survey, reflects her vision for young lives. Her 2024 cancer diagnosis deepened public love, her resilience echoing Elizabeth II's stoicism. At events, her presence captivates, her smile, her tailored coats, her gentle words. X posts flood with clips of her hugging children or consoling nurses, fans calling her our modern Diana. Catherine's appeal transcends borders, her every gesture a headline. She never sought this adoration, but it follows her, a force that reshapes the monarchy's image and challenges the roles of those around her. At Charles's first state reception as king in November 2022, he delivers a speech on global unity. Yet cameras fixate on Catherine mingling with ambassadors, her laughter soft but magnetic. Her emerald gown sparkles, her charm effortless. The next day, headlines gush, "Kate shines at Palace Gala." Charles's words relegated to a footnote. His frustration grows. He's spent decades rebuilding his image, from a misunderstood prince to a king of purpose. At a 2024 charity event, crowds swarm Catherine, leaving Charles to address half-empty rows. His slimmed-down monarchy plan, meant to modernize, feels distant compared to Catherine's warmth. On X, users debate. Charles tries, but Kate's the heart. The shift isn't personal, but it stings. A reminder that the public craves connection, and Catherine delivers it in ways he cannot. In June 2023, William hosts a naval ceremony, his speech honoring veterans polished and heartfelt. Catherine stands beside him, radiant in navy blue. The crowd roars, not for him, but for her. Children wave signs reading, "We love Kate," gifts piling at her feet. William smiles, but his heart sinks. The next day, X buzzes with photos of Catherine's interactions, his speech ignored. At a 2024 Youth Summit, her presence dominates again, her words on mental health trending online. These moments, small but frequent, build a quiet rift. William is the future king, but Catherine is the people's star. He grapples with her pride for her and unease, wondering if his role will be defined by her light. The Queen's letter, now a shadow in his mind, amplifies his fear. Is he enough, or will Catherine's glow eclipse his crown? Queen Elizabeth and Catherine shared a bond that warmed Kensington Palace's walls. Over afternoon tea, they spoke as confidants, the Queen guiding Catherine through royal life. In 2019, Elizabeth honored her with the Dame Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order, a personal tribute to her duty. Their love of photography, Elizabeth's childhood brownie, Catherine's 2020 Hold Still project, forged a unique tie. Both women dressed humbly, valued family, and shunned ostentation, their chats a sanctuary. Elizabeth admired Catherine's poise under pressure, her ability to connect without ego. At a 2021 garden party, the Queen beamed as Catherine comforted a veteran, later saying, "She understands the crown's heart." This bond, rooted in shared values, shaped Elizabeth's vision, now unveiled in the letter, casting Catherine as a successor to her legacy. Elizabeth and Catherine, across decades, became Britain's anchors. In 1940, Elizabeth's wartime broadcasts rallied a nation under fire. In 2020, Catherine's virtual visits to hospitals and schools lifted spirits, her Heads Together campaign destigmatizing mental health. Both women, through quiet acts, offered hope. Catherine's 2023 work on early childhood education, backed by science, echoes Elizabeth's service ethic. On X, fans call her "Our Queen," sharing clips of her consoling families. Elizabeth's resilience during crises mirrored Catherine's during her 2024 cancer battle, her public appearances sparking global support. Both balanced duty with relatability, their humility a bridge to the public. The Queen's letter reflects this, naming Catherine a beacon for a monarchy needing new light, a role she carries with grace. Born January 9, 1982, in Reading, Catherine Middleton grew up far from royalty. Her parents, Michael and Carol, ran Party Pieces, a mail-order business born at their kitchen table. Living in Jordan from 1984 to 1986 for Michael's job, she attended a local nursery, learning adaptability. Back in Berkshire, she thrived at St. Andrew's School, quiet but resilient. Carol's coal mining ancestors and Michael's distant aristocratic ties gave her a blend of grit and poise. At Marlborough College, she captained teams and earned a Gold Duke of Edinburgh award, her leadership subtle but strong. Watching Party Pieces grow, she learned hard work and patience, values that grounded her. This unassuming upbringing shaped a woman who could face royal scrutiny with calm, her roots a quiet strength. Catherine's path to the crown began at St. Andrews University in 2001, where she met William. Friends first, they bonded over art and charity, their friendship turning romantic. Their 2007 breakup, fueled by media pressure, tested her, but she emerged stronger, working at a charity and reclaiming her confidence. By 2008, they reconciled, their love deeper. William's 2010 proposal in Kenya, with Diana's ring, marked her destiny. On April 29, 2011, their Westminster Abbey wedding captivated millions, Catherine becoming the Duchess of Cambridge. She embraced her role, championing mental health and early education, her warmth unchanged. Mother to George, 2013, Charlotte, 2015, and Louis, 2018, she balances family with duty, her journey from Berkshire to Buckingham a testament to resilience. Princess Anne, the monarchy's workhorse, shares a quiet bond with Catherine. Known for her no-nonsense ethic, Anne watched Catherine join the family in 2011, observing her poise. Over time, she saw herself, duty-driven, drama-free, focused. At a 2019 charity event, Anne nodded as Catherine spoke on health, later saying, "She gets it." Their bond isn't loud, no public embraces, but rooted in respect. Both value service over spotlight, their modest styles and tireless work aligning. Catherine sees Anne as a mentor, her stoicism a guide through royal pressures. On X, fans note their shared glances at events, calling them the Crown's quiet warriors. Anne's role in delivering the letter underscores this trust, their connection a silent force shaping Catherine's rise. In February 2024, Buckingham Palace announced Charles's cancer diagnosis, discovered after a prostate procedure. The news shook the nation, his public duties curtailed. Charles, now frail, continued appearances, but his gaunt face betrayed the toll. At a 2024 garden party, he seemed distant, his speeches brief. By June 2025, he relies on Anne, William, and Catherine, who take on more engagements. Anne delivers blunt support, William steps up as heir, and Catherine's warmth fills gaps. On X, users express concern. Charles looks tired. His slimmed-down monarchy, meant to modernize, strains under his health. The crown, once his pride, feels heavy, and the letter's focus on Catherine deepens his sense of fading relevance, a king fighting time and fate. William, the future king, faces doubts. At 42, he's dedicated, but his reserved nature clashes with a public craving connection. His need for privacy, shaped by Diana's tragic death, makes him wary of media, his speeches measured but distant. At a 2024 youth event, he speaks on climate, but Catherine's mental health talk steals focus, her warmth trending on X. William resists change, favoring tradition, while Catherine adapts effortlessly, her modern approach resonating. His guarded trust limits openness, unlike her balanced candor. Under stress, he withdraws, while Catherine shines, consoling crowds with ease. The letter's vision of her leadership amplifies his fear. Can he lead alone, or will her strengths define his reign? Catherine's charity work is her soul's work. Her Royal Foundation Center for Early Childhood, launched in 2021, stems from her 2020 survey on kids' needs, partnering with experts to shape futures. Heads Together, co-founded in 2016, broke mental health stigma, her visits to schools sparking conversations. On X, clips of her hugging patients trend, fans saying, "She sees us." She backs arts, patronizing the National Gallery, and sports, cheering at Wimbledon. Her 2020 Hold Still photos captured lockdown's heart, uniting Britain. In 2024, despite cancer, she visited hospitals, her empathy raw. Each act, listening to parents, aiding addicts, shows care, not duty. Her quiet power, rooted in compassion, makes her the Queen's chosen, a leader without a crown. The monarchy faces a crossroads. Younger generations question its relevance, Commonwealth nations seek independence. The Queen's letter, though unverified, signals a shift. Catherine embodies hope. Her authenticity, seen in hospital visits, school talks, connects where tradition falters. Charles, weakened by illness, sees her value, his doubts easing. William, torn by duty, learns to share her light, their partnership key. At a 2025 summit, Catherine's speech on education trends globally, X calling her the future. The royals must evolve, embracing her vision over rigid protocol. The letter's truth, whether real or myth, forces change. Catherine doesn't replace them, but redefines the crown's heart, a path lit by her quiet strength. Catherine never sought power, yet her kindness, resilience, and duty have made her central. The Queen's alleged wish, whether letter or legend, reflects trust in her leadership.